That's how we're doing it again.
Right. You're too close to me.
Good evening,
Hey, y'all.
good evening.
Let's swallow this last little.
Because we're running all over the place.
I know, right?
Running here and there.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah, it is. So good evening. Today is Wednesday, May 8th. And
Yes.
2019.
Yes.
And thank you so much for tuning into the BGKH show with Dominion and Epic.
Who are you?
I am Epic.
And I'm Dominion. Okay, that's good. So then we got that out the way.
Yeah, so we got that out the way.
All right, good to know.
And so the next question is, so when people are tuning into this show, they tune in to try to figure out, well, what is this BGK and H for? Like, what is that all about?
No water or nothing. Oh, okay.
Focus!
I'm thirsty.
Focus!
So the B stands for Bamas.
Bamas?
Oh no, it's black. Sorry, sorry.
I mean, but it could be Bamas.
Black Bamas.
It don't have to be black Bamas. It could just be Bamas, period.
Okay, Bamas.
But it could be Bamas. But I mean, that's a possibility. But it usually stands for black. So
Okay, the blacks. Okay, the blacks.
So the G stands for
The gays.
the girls, the gays,
The guys.
all the above. But in this case, it's the gays. The K is for the kinky.
Kinky, yes,
Kinky. Not, oh my God, let's go outside and do it, but like,
Right.
no, let's go outside and do it in a sling in front of the metro station stop while people watch, possibly as a start,
Or on the end of the train going to Branch Avenue.
while the security guard officers in the next car watching.
Right.
So
and jerking off.
Right. So that would be a little kinky.
Right. Just a little.
But I mean, just a little bit. But again, that makes all of them the H, which is human. So, thank you all for tuning in tonight.
Yes.
We have a lot of fun stuff to talk about.
Cool.
So let's get things started. We're going to talk about our little favorite shows and things that we watch every single week. But today, as I said, is the 8th, and yesterday was the Met Gala, or was that 2 nights ago?
Maybe it was Monday night.
I think it was Monday night. But anyway, it's the first time we're able to talk about it, so let's jump right on into this Met Gala. So, listen, there were tons and tons.
Yes,
and
let me pull up
tons
my
of
list so I
things
can be ready.
of the things that were going on at the Met Gala. And I don't know if you knew, but this year's theme was camp.
Notes on camp.
Right. So the issue is, for me, number one, when you say camp or campy, I need for people to have an understanding of that. And so I see a lot of people on Facebook, they were saying, well, do heads know what camp or campy is? And I was like,
A lot of gays know what camp means.
they
so.
should, because this is like on
Well,
page,
but every gay
page
isn't
2.
gay. Yeah, but every gay isn't.
They don't
gay.
have to be. Well, they don't have to be a gold star gay, or they don't have to be real gay. But there should be some basic definitions. Like, you should know what campy is.
They just like to suck dick. They're
mean-
not part of the. They're those gays that are, I'm not, I'm gay, but I don't go to clubs kind of gays.
Like, I'm gay, but not on Tuesday type of thing.
Right. So okay.
I'm
whatever,
gay. I
man.
don't sleep with men, but I do like to.
I saw somebody posted today
Eat
that said, I'm not gay. I still date women, but I fuck dudes on the side. He said, I'm not gay or bi. I still like women. I just fuck dudes on the side. And like, okay.
I have news for you, mister. You're gay.
You are gay.
Big gay. But anyway, so
Anyway, notes on camp.
notes on camp. So again, this year's theme was camp, and so my definition of camp and what my expectations were based on what I thought what my definition of camp is. I expected absolutely over the top, absolutely outrageous, larger than life, everything.
Yes.
And so
A couple of people gave
to that
it.
end. Yes, some people did. They gave you some stuff.
Most people at least look cute. And I think a lot of people, well, I'm being nice. I decided I was going to be nice today. I'm not channeling my inner Joan Rivers because, if I was channeling my inner Joan Rivers, I'd be reading at least half of them.
And we're here on the red carpet. And what is that you're wearing? A trash bag? What is that? Okay, I'm sorry.
Right. Which could have been camp if you had done it right.
Absolutely.
So, like, if you had shown up like Missy Elliott, with a big old
Listen,
puffy suit, that would have been it.
over the top, larger than life, and everything about that whole look was camp. The glasses were everything. I still think to this day the glasses are everything.
So that was my problem, is that while most people had beautiful, lovely gowns. Beautiful gowns.
Beautiful gowns. Lovely gowns. Beautiful gowns. Mm-hmm. They did. And, even the fellas that tried to show up and show out this
Some
year.
of them did. Some of them was just like,
did.
I'm just going to wear a tuxedo.
So,
like, ooh, I'm wearing a tuxedo that's high water. And, I'm wearing a fun shoe. Like, no, that's not camp.
Like, you're wearing a fun shoe. Okay, all right. So, let's just go down the list. I have a couple notes
All right,
from a couple people.
All right, so Lady Gaga, the first outfit was everything.
Listen.
All of the rest of them were just like, okay, you're doing too much.
Blah, 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 blah.
A meat dress is camp.
Yes, God.
A regular old dress, then change it to another regular old dress, then change it to another regular old dress. Is just a series of costume changes.
But let me say this about Miss Lady Gaga and that outfit.
Mm-hmm.
She had probably like 10 or 11 people with carrying the fabric.
Yes.
And there was one spot where she stopped, because she walked like maybe 2 blocks or something like that to get to the Met Gala. And so where she stopped, all the people that were handling her dress had it up in the air, and from the front, they shot a picture of it. It looked like it was billowing in the wind.
Mm-hmm.
That was everything for me. I was like, okay, Miss Gaga.
Hey, Queen. And congratulations.
But this revealed down to...
there's a date now.
There's a date.
I will leave it to him to reveal, but yes, there is a date.
There's a date.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I've got my diable pumps on standby.
Pot de soie. We just need time to... We need time for it to dry.
Yes, and I've already started. I've already started
Hey.
on my on the groomsman cake.
Hey, Yolanda.
The gray armadillo.
So we can cut that tail off.
Mm-hmm.
So
with what is it going to be? Red velvet.
It's red velvet.
Red velvet
Yes, red
cake
velvet
with
armadillo
gray
cake.
icing. How does one even get ice in that color? Anyway, all right. So Serena Williams.
So okay.
Serena Williams looked like eggs with ham in it. She really did. Which
Oh my God.
she did. She looked like a bowl of eggs with chunks of ham in it.
Oh my God.
She looked like cheese, eggs, and ham. I'm
She
very familiar
really
with
did.
that
She
because
really did.
that's like one of my favorite orders at
She really did.
from Waffle House. And so I was like, now I want fucking hash browns, scattered, smothered, covered, top chunk, diced, mollywopped, Flintstones.
Because when you talk about the Waffle House, there's a good chance that somebody's
Or
going to
there's gonna be some fights in there.
So anyway,
but so
but
it
that
was,
shoe, that sneaker, come on, Serena. Like
yeah, she
I
coulda
mean,
done better.
come on, girl. Like I mean, yeah. Now, campy would have been if the whole outfit was based out of the sneaker, or the sneakers were covered in the outfit, or the sneaker was so damn big that she rode in on one or something. Like that would have been very campy.
Mm-hmm.
But that no, just throwing that sneaker on. That
Harry
just didn't work.
Styles, that was an interesting ensemble. It was not camp.
It was
It
fun.
just seemed.
Yeah.
It seemed very Jean-Paul Gaultier circa 1992.
Yeah, and it wasn't. I mean, for him, I guess it
For
was.
him, it was.
It was like, you
it
know.
was definitely out there.
Yeah,
for him,
but for that's a regular Tuesday. We see somebody on like some.
right? I was looking at it. I was like, bitch, if I could get that in red, that's my code red outfit for next year.
That could work. Absolutely.
So, Katy Perry.
Okay.
I don't even remember what she had on.
So she had on the chandelier dress, the whole dress that was made out like it was one big chandelier.
Oh yeah. It was an
So-
interesting concept, but
Yeah.
it looked like a very well done art project.
Yeah, and it was campy, but it just I was like,
Oh well, he didn't put it in. He didn't put it out there in the ether. Congratulations. We're not going. Can we say your name? We'll wait till you say your name.
Well, congratulations to somebody.
Congratulations to somebody
'Cause they getting
Because they
married.
getting married.
I'm assuming the data set they said yes, so we're gonna go into that.
Well, if they setting dates.
Listen,
But he is the kind of person.
I want to ask that
Look,
question.
he is the kind of person that'll be like, "Oh, well, this is when we get married," and then he
I mean,
he
I'm just-
rented the space and everything.
Okay, all right. Well, anyway,
We could go to the Waffle House this weekend, but all of the Waffle Houses are kind of far out. But I'm down for a little journey if you
it
want.
is Mother's Day
Cortez.
weekend, and y'all trying to go to a Waffle House.
But like at 2:00 in the morning, though.
Okay.
All right. So anyway,
All right.
all right. So who's
So,
next?
But Katy Perry. So the dress it wasn't really one of my favorites. But then she had this hamburger dress afterwards that she changed into.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
which is goofy. I was like, I mean, it was campy, but it was goofy.
Now, if she had dressed as the Hamburglar,
now that would have been
and
like
made do it like this, like
couture chic Hamburglar.
Like, do the Hamburglar, but make it fashion.
Listen, that would have been couture.
Right.
That would have been campy couture.
Right.
But she didn't. So Jared Leto. So everybody may have heard about Jared Leto. He's the guy that came with the little mannequin of a headpiece
that actually looked like him.
That was his head. And so
I thought that was cute.
It was cute, but I was trying to figure out.
It wasn't super campy.
No.
Like if the theme
was it
had
a purse?
been like macabre. I thought it was just a head that he was carrying.
I mean, I just couldn't figure out what the. But okay, I mean, okay, yeah.
Billy Porter. First Cardi B. Cardi B was the hands down winner for me. I mean, I thought Lady Gaga's dress, everything, but just the drama of Cardi's dress, especially when they took from the back and the dress there was two looks. One where it was draped down the stairs, and another when she was standing like this, and the dress was like all around her, like it was. Yes, like billowing from underneath, and I was like, it looks like there's a bunch of balloons under there, but it was everything to me.
30,000 feathers that were put on the bottom of that gown.
Wow,
30,000.
And she had.
feathers.
I saw something that said she had $500,000 nipple covers.
Listen,
I was like, I didn't even know nipple. I thought that was just.
Listen, Tom Brown.
X's.
This gown has put you on the map.
If he weren't already,
because listen. I'm just saying. Now, the other person that people talked a lot about was Billy Porter. So
I'll let you go. This is where we diverge.
This is where we diverge.
Okay.
So let me be clear. Mm-hmm. I love.
It was definitely on theme.
I love everything that this represented. It was campy. Mm-hmm. It was over the top, but it was not one of my favorite looks.
Why?
Because the execution it didn't come off as well to me, and because of what you were going for, which was a Egyptian god, you did not fit that Egyptian god look or feel for me.
Every time,
because I feel like some of the Egyptian men or the gods would have been like these perfect,
and them dudes, in theory, the dudes who were like carrying it, I was like, the pants is all baggy and everything. Not that they all had to be like nine-pack abs, not but like that. The pants were baggy. I just felt like that part of the look from the divan down was a little sloppy, and I felt like remember in Tu Wong Fu when he was like, you just have to be like Miss Ann Baxter. You like right. Moses. Right. He wasn't giving me. I mean, he was trying to perch, but it just didn't come.
He gave me a perch, but I wasn't.
I didn't feel he was going for an Ann Baxter as the Pharaoh's wife
and
moment.
He gave you Annie Potts.
Yes.
Okay. But then so he opened the
arm. But if one of us had done it, you'd have been like, the bitch turns it. But I mean, you got all this money, you got whatever. So it was like, if you were going for a 10, you got like a 7.
Yeah, I'm not saying it was bad at all.
No,
because I love.
Because again, and like as other people were saying, bitches with $100 in their account, judging these millionaires. But I mean, that's the essence of life.
And I don't even have $100 in my account right now
right. So there we go.
We'll leave that alone.
All right, so Billy Porter. So Celine Dion's headpiece was.
So did you?
I actually liked what she had on. I just didn't think it was campy. I just felt like she looked like 20s. She looked
like what J-Lo was going for.
She looked like an elderly flapper.
So maybe, but it was something
in a cute way.
Campy, elegant.
It was definitely elegant, but I just felt like she walked off stage from one of her shows.
Yeah, like it could have been a Vegas show.
One of her Vegas shows, and I was
a Vegas show.
Yeah, I wasn't feeling that.
Listen, Miss. Let's talk about before I go to J-Lo because I mentioned her earlier, but Miss Sierra.
I can't even remember what Sierra had on.
Sierra, there's nothing it doesn't even matter what she had on because this hair that started up here and ended all the way out here and came all the way down it was covering down to her buttocks, and that afro was everything.
Oh, that was Sierra?
That was Sierra.
Okay.
Listen, the gown.
Now that was camp. That was camp.
Very camp. The gown was cute. It was barely on her, covering all her parts. That was all fine.
Now
but
you know that picture good. That I got. if she had done like a recreation of that 70s picture that every black family got,
yes,
where they're
yes,
naked with the huge afro,
Yes.
and like if she had done it like in
All
a frame,
hair. Yes, in a frame. That would have been all like she was just sitting in her purse, all framed, but her hair covering her body, good
Right.
parts. That would have been very camp. But
Yes.
it was cute. So
Yeah, it wasn't terrible.
But now Miss J-Lo, now listen,
J-Lo, the dress was cute, but I was
the dress was
unmoved.
cute, and again, it wasn't campy. But listen, I'm gonna say this: there was a picture of Miss J-Lo where she's posing on the steps, she's leaning forward.
Yes.
It was everything. So I'm gonna give her that. So, did you see the Kardashian clan?
Why does Kim Kardashian always insist on this look like she just got out of the shower?
But it was okay. So I actually liked it when I first saw
But
it.
every
I was like,
time I was like, is that the hair look that you're going for?
but did you get into the dress and how the dress like it was dripping off of her? Like
Oh,
all the
okay, so
beads-
that was what it was supposed to be?
Right,
Okay,
she
I-
literally looked. Was
I saw a
going
picture
for-
side by side that somebody did a picture side by side with of an anus.
She literally was going for this look of somebody threw like a bag of water on her and everything is just dripping off her, and the jewels that were hanging off, they would look like they were teardrop pearls. Looked like raindrops falling off her. So her hair was wet. The dress had this shine to it as if it was wet. So it was a beautiful concept. But and it fit her like a glove. And Miss Kim Kardashian, listen, I don't care what you say. They talk about her not having any surgery on that ass or on them hips and them buttocks.
Shit.
Yeah, okay, girl. Because you were giving me one old Coke bottle. You was giving me Jessica Rabbit out. Like, you're the closest thing to Jessica Rabbit I've seen since Jessica Rabbit, and also since Heidi Klum did Jessica Rabbit in a costume for Halloween. So,
See,
That's all I'm saying.
Cortez said they look like the white chicks. Yes, I didn't think their looks were campy at all, but they weren't
Chris's,
terrible.
The mom, it wasn't all that great. I liked Kim's, and I also liked was it Kendall? I think it was Kendall's looked at.
It was Kendall and Kylie. They were like photographed together.
But Kendall's, the feathers on Kendall's thing was what I actually liked. Like, I
Yeah.
loved all of that. So, but shout out to Chris for having her boo with her that was standing in front. I was like, oh, okay, well, he was kind of cute. Actually, his jacket was kind of cute, though. I kind of liked the jacket he had on. It was kind of this, it was very fitted, but it had like almost like a short in the front, long in the back type of jacket. It looked cute. Cute jacket.
Who's next?
So I brought this person up because it frightened me and it was weird to me. But Ezra Miller, he was the person that had, if you remember seeing any pictures about the Met Gala, he's the person that took his mask off and he had like 5 different sets of eyes.
Yes, that was creepy-ish.
It was
like when
very creepy.
when I first saw it, I just assumed somebody had photoshopped that.
You know.
But no, that was his look. And to me, some people could say, "Oh, that wasn't camp," but to me, that was like high camp. It was scary.
It was
but it was like
weird.
scary
Yeah,
camp,
it was
and I was
scary.
just like, "Okay, you're going to do that, do that." And like, if you, was it like 2 years ago?
Not Wet Rabbit Theo.
There's this drag queen that does a song called L'Amour, and she has like a blank face mask. She has like the eyes painted on her hands, and she flexes them,
okay.
and the eyes.
All right.
Yeah, so that was things. So I was like, all right, that's cute.
It was cute, but it was kind of scary. But the diamond corset, I thought that was interesting.
Yes.
I thought that was very interesting.
Idris Elba, I don't even remember what they had on. So.
Listen, I'm gonna just go ahead and mention Idris Elba was there with his wife Sabrina, and listen, her gown was beautiful on her. It was this like rust colored gown or copper colored gown. It was beautiful on her. It wasn't camp at all, neither one of them. But again, I'm just going to give a shout out because and congratulations to the newlyweds. That's what I'm gonna say about that.
Good for
So
them.
yeah. Now Nick Jonas and Priyanka Chopra, his new wife. So Priyanka is giving me really fashionista. And her look was kind of, I don't know how I feel about it. It was just, it's something about it spoke to me in some weird way.
It was cute, but I just continue to be floored by how beautiful Nick Jonas is. It's like, remember he used to be like the no one gives a shit about Jonas, and then like one day you turned around.
None of them really did anything for me, to be quite honest.
Yeah, but then they got a grown, and then
Yeah, but I still don't really pay too much attention to them. But I mean, okay.
you know,
But that's me. That's just me.
there's none of them are Taron Egerton
Well,
from Kingsman,
yeah. Well,
who is slowly edging his way out of the closet. So we
we're
might
gonna
talk
work
to
on
that.
that one. Yeah.
Lupita's,
Listen.
The more I look at it, the more I like it. Because at
Yes.
first, I just was like,
what are you doing?
what
This is weird. Like, this don't make
I mean,
sense.
it's like you got an afro with some pics in it and some color. And I was
When
like,
you see
all
it-
right. But now that I've seen it, and I've seen like a couple of different angles of it and
Yes.
everything, it's like, all right. Yeah,
It was very campy, and it takes somebody like Lupita Nyong'o to actually, as beautiful as she is, and as much of a statement as her outfit was making. Somebody else on Facebook mentioned this as well. Her beauty was still shining through this
Yes,
whole thing. It
yes.
was like, it was amazing. So shout out to you, Lupita. And again, them gold Afro puffs sticking out that wig, giving you Marge Simpson hair,
Yes.
with the Afro pick. Listen, I'm good with it. So shout out to you. Now,
Laverne Cox was giving it. I really thought that was Dominique from Pose.
I swear to God,
I was like,
I
oh, that's
swear
cute.
to
Okay, so they
God.
got Billy, they got Dominique. I was like, it's a
And I
whole
was
cast
like,
showing up.
what? I was like, okay, wait a minute. So her look was with
The look was
black-
fabulous, but again, it wasn't necessarily camp.
It was almost flapper 20s ish.
Yeah, yeah, but it was cute.
Pre-dynasty type of thing.
Zendaya's.
The Cinderella ball gown.
I
So
can't remember. I don't really remember that one.
So remember the scene from Cinderella where she got dressed and the sparkling started going up and her dress lit up and it turned into the white gown. She literally had lights put into this gown that kind of they rose.
yeah, I
up to
only
the top.
seen pictures. I haven't
and
seen,
somebody
like-
was in front of her, waving the wand in front of her.
Oh,
and
okay.
again, in theory, it was beautiful and it wasn't necessarily bad, but I was kind of like, it just seemed like it.
But
looked
when you
better
gotta
in
have,
theory.
it's one thing to have a prop like to carry you on a litter or to arrange your gown, but if your camp involves someone doing the sort of part of the main aesthetic, then to me it's a fail. So like if you got to have someone waving the magic wand in order to grasp
Smoke
that,
and everything, and she was standing there and the lights. She's like, oh,
it might have been
gosh.
fine, but I just don't think it worked as part of that illusion.
Yeah,
so.
it was, but okay,
Tiffany
so-
Haddish's look was low budget. Listen, I love me some Tiffany Haddish, but the look was
That really gave me pretty much pimp gets an upgrade type of thing. It was. I was like, oh, come on, Tiffany. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna need you at least go back to jail.
But this is like her first time doing this sort of thing, so maybe she'll get better next time.
So clearly she will, because I think she's gotten better even with the red carpet.
Right, and I think that people, she probably didn't even realize that she should have been talking to someone. Because remember, she bought that Alexander McQueen dress off the rack. Like no one shopped for her and said, do this. So she probably got a couple of, her gay friends, out in LA to hook her up. But, next year, I'm betting she's going to do something fabulous because her star is going to continue to rise. And so people are going to want to work with her.
Listen, I hope so. I absolutely hope so. There was a couple other people I wanted to mention as well, and so forgive us because I did not print out today, but we're going to be looking on our phones.
Yes.
But one of the guys, Jordan Roth, had a winged dress shirt.
Yeah, and it was
But
just
he
like
opened
up, and it was
all
like a
up, but it was a whole picture of the theater on the inside.
yes, I like that.
Was camp as hell.
Yes.
It was beautiful for me.
Yes.
Gemma Chan from Crazy Rich Asians. I liked her headpiece.
Was that that was Constance Wu? Or
There, Constance Wu was there as well, but Gemma Chan.
Know your Asians. Know your Asians.
But Gemma Chan is the one who had the headpiece on, the
Okay.
diamond chandelier looking one. And it was beautiful. But I felt like she was looking, it was giving me very much of a Malaysian temple person.
Yes.
But it was, I just wanted to shout that out because I thought that was beautiful.
And Constance Wu looked nice, but
Yeah, she
again,
looked nice, and it was very classy, but it wasn't campy.
Right.
So also, now did you see? I always pronounce her name incorrectly, but Cara Delevingne. I think that's how you pronounce her last name. Cara Delevingne's look was basically a sheer ensemble that had stripes of color going all the way across her, all the way down to the walking stick. She had this this headpiece on that literally had dentures and toothpaste bottles and all this other stuff, but her attitude was just over the top. It was flawless.
I'll
I
have
was
to
like,
look
okay,
that one up.
and it was so campy. So I'm gonna give her a shout out for that because that was great. It was absolutely great.
Okay.
It was bananas and fruit and all this other stuff up there.
Okay.
Now, the editor at large for Vogue, Hamish Bowles, his poodle coat. with feathers all around the outside.
I guess I only saw like select pictures. I wish I need to like go to the Met Gala
So
website.
it's as
and
wide
see
as
the
this
whole thing.
table with feathers all the way around it.
Oh, really?
It
Okay.
was beautiful. I thought it was very campy. So
Anna Wintour's look was surprisingly basic.
she was,
too.
I'm like, listen, you are the editor of Vogue.
But I mean, I get it. She was like, and she's also like 73 years old. She was like, girl, I ain't going to all
Listen,
this.
she.
I'm just gonna read you girls, but I'm not gonna.
That's what she did. That's what she, and she has every right to do that. So
Right.
let's be clear, she has every right to do that. She's brought some wonderful things to Vogue, and she will continue to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So, Gigi Hadid, did you see her metallic catsuit? She walked in with Michael Kors.
Yes.
I thought that was pretty damn
Yes,
hot.
it was. Yes.
I said,
I don't
okay,
think it
Gigi.
was camp. I just thought it was nice.
It was pretty hot. It was.
Yeah, I mean, hot, yes, but not camp.
I thought it was camp because of the,
And
because of the eyelashes.
You love Brian Murphy's cape.
Oh, my God.
I was like gold Count Chocula. I was over it.
Okay, they brought Count Chocula to life, and he's gold. Okay, great. But listen, his cape
I just wasn't seeing it for
was
her.
and it had this talk. Listen, I fell in love with that collar. Another movie I fell in love with that collar was from Death Becomes Her, with the young lady who was giving them the spells. I can't think of her name right now. It's on the tip of my tongue. When she got out of the pool.
Yeah.
She got out of the pool. She put this robe on. This tall ass collar stood up. I said,
Yes.
that's how I need to live my life. I need to live my life with a robe with a tall collar up like this. And you come to my house, and I'm like, wait a minute.
Yes.
What can I do for you? Listen, that was everything. But his gown was, or the cape was like 100 pounds. Mm-hmm. It was amazing for me. I thought it was amazing.
Janelle Monáe's look, I really did like her. I like the hats on hats.
That was the part that I had to look at
And
again. That was amazing.
The nipple that actually, the
blinked,
eye that blinked.
Christian Siriano, shout out to you for that because
Yes.
that was amazing.
Yes.
But that
now,
hat was
the
everything.
bottom half of the dress I didn't care for as much. Maybe it was the way that she held her hand and like the shape of it was weird to me.
Doing
But
this
I'm told that
hand
apparently
thing.
that was like a call out to one of her videos or something. It was like fallopian tubes or something.
Yeah,
something. Yeah.
But listen, I like the look, and again, the hat was listen, that would be a hot ass cold red look too as well with a couple hats balancing.
I'm actually legitimately working on hats on hats on hats. I mean, we could do it together, hats on hats on hats on hats.
It seems like we might as well put our powers to good,
Right.
as opposed to not. We show with the same shit. What the hell?
Like, bitch, I got this badass coat. And then he was like, really? Let me see it. Picture, bitch, I'm about the same coat.
Bitch.
Motherfucker. Anywho.
So anyway, but with the Met Gala, that was all the stuff that I saw that I thought looked great. All the things that I wanted to mention. I mean, there was other people that were there and people that came in and they looked great. But those are some of the highlights for me.
You would kidnap who, Cortez? The conversation moves on, so I don't know who they're talking about.
Oh Lord.
Oh, he's probably talking about Taron Egerton from The
that
Kingsman.
very well could be it. So
Let's see. So last week, we saw. Did we talk about? Oh yeah, we did talk about Endgame.
we did talk about Endgame.
We did talk about
we talked about
Endgame.
Endgame.
So this week, one of my favorite characters died on Game of Thrones.
I'm looking for a candle.
How do I say goodbye to what we had? The good times that made us laugh. I thought we.
I was about to say, are you kidding me?
Shout out to Masinde. Miss Sunday, the black chick.
I know who she is now, but I haven't gotten to it. I'm still not moved. Like, I'm not moved. Listen, let me
If
tell
you don't like, listen, here's the thing.
No, it's not about I
I'm one of
don't
the
like
people
it.
that's like, listen, if I don't like the show, I don't like it. I don't care if the whole rest of the world likes it.
But I'm getting ready to tell you this. Here's the funny thing. Since I've started watching this, I've watched damn near 2 other series since then.
Yeah.
I've watched a whole season of Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Yeah.
I've watched almost 2 seasons of Into the Badlands, which I think is amazing.
I watched the first season, which was really good, and I just never followed up with it because when I watched the first season, I watched it a couple of years ago, and the second season wasn't on Netflix, and I didn't have like AMC Prime or whatever to watch it at the time.
I think what's amazing for me is because I was that like karate kid that loved like the Saturday afternoon karate flicks, and it takes me all the way back. One of my favorite films is The Five Deadly Venoms. Like it's just everything for me. And I get life off of women in kung fu flicks,
the kick ass
with a ponytail and some heels. And you are giving
shit
drama? Yes, because the widow.
Yes. Yes.
Woo!
Yes.
Every time she steps through, and when she took somebody's life with that damn heel, I was like,
there's a series that you should watch called Love, Death, and Robots. It's like an anthology series. None of them is more than like 15, 16 minutes, but the theme of every series of everything is like there's an element of love, there's an element of death, and an element of robots to it. And so there's like 18 episodes, but each episode is like 15 minutes, and they're very good. And each one, you think that like, okay, why would I be, you can't get too wrapped up. But as each one starts, you're like, damn, it's over already, because it's like a really good self-contained story. So yeah, you should definitely check out Love, Death, and Robots.
Let's see how this is gonna work out. Like this list right here of all the stuff that I have on here, I'm adding stuff in there.
Big Mouth, I mean, it's aight to me, but it's sometimes it's funny, but most of the time to me, I'm just like,
it's kind of like crude, rude, 13-year-old expected,
right, and so
humor.
It's like, so you know what it is for me. I used to love like Beavis and Butthead
when I was at that age,
when I was in college. But then when they brought Beavis and Butthead back a couple of years ago, and I watched it, I was like, "This is the dumbest thing I have ever seen in my life."
Let's be clear: Celebrity Deathmatch was everything.
Oh yeah, but that's a different kind of thing.
Yes,
yeah,
it was.
I love Celebrity Deathmatch.
But yeah,
they should bring that back.
That would be interesting. But like, this is my list of other things I'm trying to get through.
Let's see what's on your list.
I've already gotten through.
Orphan, let me see, which of these have I seen?
So we have Orphan Black, Sons of Anarchy, Grace Point, Broadchurch, Luther, Sherlock, Downton Abbey, Fargo, Veep, Walking Dead, which I've watched, Blacklist, HBO Looking, Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, Hawaii Five-0. Because one of my participants actually that I work with is actually in this program. It's the bad guy.
Kimmy Schmidt is hilarious.
I started watching that, and I got through maybe the first 2 or 3 seasons, the first 2 or 3 episodes.
Yeah.
Draining.
He can be a bit draining, but he's also hilarious.
I guess I have to be in
what
the right
white
mood.
Nonsense is this? Yeah, it's one of those like you should probably have like a few drinks while you having it, or
maybe
if
that's
you
what
smoke,
it is.
maybe you should be a little high.
I need to do
while
something,
you watch it.
He's
Yeah.
not really. So The Fall, Luke Cage, that was slow.
That's still on in my queue, but I haven't watched
Daredevil, I started watching that. That was slow as well.
What was the one about not in the cut? What's the one with Jaden Smith that's set in Brooklyn in like the 70s? Is about hip hop and in some blah blah blah. Yeah, that show.
Okay, I don't know what that. Let me see what else. Chewing Gum, which is I watched that. I hope that comes back. I hope she does. Like I need to see that. Sense8, Battlestar
Is Sarah
Galactica.
Connor's Chronicle, is that on Netflix?
I believe it is, but I just know it was one of these ones I need to actually check out. The Misadventures of Awkward Black Girl, Spartacus, Handmaid's Tale, Back in the House, In the Badlands, of course, Imposter, Claws, which I need to finish because that was actually really good as well.
Yeah.
OG, Marco Polo's, Narcos, Game of Thrones, which was on there, Deuces, Queen of the South, My House, which I love about the ballroom scene.
Right.
Ozark, The Good Place, Big Mouth, and I just added in here Love, Death, and Robots.
So I also have a list of stuff on Amazon Prime. Because one of the things I like best about Amazon Prime is how it leads you to other stuff. So like you'll pull up one like you'll pull up Moonlight, and then it'll lead you to this other gay movie, and this other gay movie, and this other gay movie.
That's on now this month.
Moonlight is on.
Okay.
It's on Netflix and Amazon Prime.
I think I might have to watch that again because I thought that was really a really good movie.
It was. It really was.
I think I want to watch it again. So it might actually. I got to check the
Academy Award winner.
Well, I got to check the air filters in the house before I do that again because it made me think about a couple of things when growing up, and I was. So it just.
So how was your week?
My week was actually really good. It's been interesting. So I had a moment where I'm not going to say I felt like you. I feel like my nose is running. I'm not going to say I felt like you. But I felt like I did something to this person unintentionally, one of my participants, and she started crying. Now, I'm laughing, not because I'm heartless. I'm laughing because I don't want to friggin' see you cry. I feel like Tom Hanks. You're not supposed to be crying.
There's no crying in this program.
Like, I was like, what is the problem? And so then it clicked in my head that whatever your issue is has nothing to do with me and this, that, what's going on here. But I was like, this is day 3 and you are crying.
But why did that make you feel like me?
Because I
make people cry?
No. Because sometimes when you stand in front of people and you're saying shit to them and you said it's, how do you say it? You don't, you say awkward truths? Is that what you say?
Cruel observations.
Cruel observations. And sometimes your cruel observations cause people to be like, so.
I don't know what to tell you.
But I had this moment where I felt like people were looking at me as if I did something to her specifically. And I was like, but I didn't do anything to her. Not yet. Like I didn't do anything to her.
Get your shit together, honey.
So, yeah, I mean, but it was all good. But I've been, this being at work at 7 a.m.
You only got to do it for this week.
Let me tell you something. It is draining my soul. Mm-hmm. And because I know by the time we get to the end of this, like my eyes are getting heavy as we speak right now. Yeah, it's not. It just doesn't work.
You can do it.
Listen, I don't really have a choice.
Well, there you go.
But so I got to get myself together to do that. But so far, so good. It's been a good week. My mechanic is getting on my nerves, but because he's trying to charge me this damn money to fix these goddamn brakes. But other than that, it's been a good week. Oh, I mean, other than the fact that my car got hit the other day for some foolishness and nonsense. And I think here's what happened. I stopped over Dominion Place, and I parked the car on the opposite side of the street, and I normally never do that. You normally park on your side of the street. That was strike number 1. But I was like, oh, let me go ahead and park over there. Go up into the house, come back outside after somebody's knocking on the door. Dude, was that your nosy neighbor, the one that's always...
Yes.
She's like... So I come
and I hear this woman's voice, and I was like, is this... I was like, is this bitch trying to fight somebody in my house? I was about to...
She's screaming about something.
Flintstone her ass.
And she was like, the guy with the gray car, the guy with the gray car, the guy... So I'm coming right out the door. Here I come. And I go outside, and I see a moped on the ground, and I see these 2 kids, probably like 15, 16-year-olds, and they were like scrawny kids, but they were just tussling back and forth, and they were throwing a couple blows. So the moped is down in front of my bike, and the woman who knocked the door was like, yeah, move your car, because that moped is leaking gas and so forth and so. And I was like, well, what the hell? Like, why I gotta move my car? And then I said, okay. She said, hit your car. So I walk over to the car, and I see this dent in the car. The dent is probably 3/4 of an inch to maybe an inch deep, slightly, but there's little scratches on it, and it's in the bumper on the bottom. And I'm kind of like, what the fuck? Like, what? Now, what irritated me was the kid, after he got finished fighting and arguing with the guy, gets up, picks up his scooter or moped thing, sits back on it, starts it up, and then just leaves. Now I'm
with
standing
him
there,
and his boy,
and I'm like, could you have said something to? But all this time, I'm fighting the urge to put my hands on him and say, who's gonna pay for this? Like who? Like what?
Grab him by the ear, like, where your mama?
Yeah, I mean, like, what you gonna do? But then I kept remembering this is somebody's kid, and I know goddamn well if Pooh is out here from next door, I'm sure his mother's gonna be somewhere out here if I put my hands on him, and then it's like that's gonna be a whole other issue. And then I'm sitting there thinking like,
and then
call
you
an
gonna
insurance
come
company?
in my house, and then the bitch gonna try to knock on my door.
Right.
Then
So
now it's because it was like 10 of us in the house.
Yeah, like it was.
Now we got to fight the whole fucking neighborhood just to get out.
And I'm like, okay. And so I got up this morning, I looked at my car again, and I was like, okay, it's in the grand scheme of things, it's a dent, like it's a bumper. Right. And I'm like, all right, fine. There's no point in me calling because I have a $500 deductible. Like it's not gonna be
it's not a $500.
Like it's not even a $500 or even more. Like if I had a zero deductible, that'd be something different.
Right.
But but I'm still irritated. I think I got more irritated about him not even saying anything to me.
Yeah.
So, but whatever. But other than that, my week was fine. How was your week so far? How's it been so far?
It was cool. So I hadn't heard back from either of those jobs that I went on interviews with a couple of weeks ago. And so I was like, fine, whatever. And then, so 2 things happened. the first thing is that I'd gotten another call. I'd gotten a call like a week after that for another job, and then we were talking, and he was like, "So how much you looking to make?" And I gave him, I said, "This is how much." He said, "How much you make now? How much you looking to make?" I said, "This is how much I'm making now. Based on what we talked about, this is what I'm looking to make." And then he was like, "Oh, well, we only." So here's my number. Here's where I wanted to go. Here was his number.
Right.
And so I was like, "Oh," and he was like, "Oh, well, I don't think we can meet that." And this was like the vice president. So I was like, "Okay, fine." So then yesterday I get an email or a LinkedIn message like, "Hey, I want to talk to you about this thing." I was like, "I've already talked to your vice president and whatever," and and I said that your ceiling was $30,000 below my floor, and so I was like, "There's nothing for us to talk about."
Right.
And then he was like, "Yeah, we should probably still talk." And so we were together. This was after the dent, and you and Papa Urs were like, "You should say something." He's like, "Listen, because he was like, "Yeah, let's talk tomorrow, like 10:30." I was like, "We can talk tomorrow if you can guarantee me that we're going to at least be the minimum and whatever, because otherwise there's no need in conversation." And at first he said no, but then today, later in the afternoon, he was like, "Yeah, so I've gone back and talked to the contracting officer, and so your number's good to go." So they came up $30,000. So I was like, "All right." So now we're gonna have this conversation tomorrow. But I was like, "Bitch, that's the floor."
Yeah, like that's where. Yeah, like
I don't need to leave this job because I'm
you're making the same amount of money,
right? I'm not. I don't see a lot of career growth, but I'm not unhappy right at the moment. So I ain't gonna leave just to go,
someplace else,
some other foolishness. Yeah. But United Airlines called me back.
You know what? Before you say anything, this is the wrong bitch to have some sort of flight benefits. This bitch will never be here on this continent.
I'm dialing in from Johannesburg. Hello, everyone. Hello.
But anyway, I'm not mad if you.
So anyway, so the third, this is the one out in Dulles. So I was like, "Listen, we'll just keep playing through this game. We'll see what happens, and if they offer me a job, then I'm on the cusp of a decision." And I was like, "Listen, it would increase my commute, but
the benefits are, might be worth it."
And they're supposed to be finished with if they're supposed to be done with the metro all the way out to Dulles by like next year.
Okay.
So for a year or so, my commute would go up, but then I could literally catch the Silver Line from my house straight out there, like literally not get off of the train all the way out to Dulles Airport.
That would be amazing.
So it would be a long ass ride, but
that would be amazing.
I'd just be perched like this in my suit, like
that
good,
would be amazing.
So we'll see what happens with all
good
of
luck. Good luck. I think working for airlines or being able to retire from airlines.
Right now I'll be working for a firm that does the hiring for them. So we'll see. But I mean, I'm 100% of the time at United Airlines. So, but I would technically be an employee of
negotiate your flight benefits. That's all I'm gonna tell you. Negotiate your flight
benefits because we ain't finalized none of all that.
United, U.S. Air, because my mother was working for U.S. Air at one time, and I was pissed off when she left. But that's a whole other story. But anyway.
So all right, so it's time for a RuPaul Drag Race.
Right.
Man,
so this week, it was the Dragra Cadabra. And so they had the mini challenge up front, and it was the ball challenge where they had to kind of attach their body part, balance a ball between
pit crew, balance the ball between themselves and the pit crew with the body part that Ru assigned,
and see how many balls they could actually get into this particular basket. And it was like balance the ball between your head and someone's behind, or like your midsection and their midsection. So it was really kind of weird.
Butt to butt, or whatever, hip to hip, cheek to cheek, cheek to cheek, face to. What was it?
That's what's her face?
Cheek to cheek, face to.
Ron, what's cheek to cheek? Isn't that
No. This is like a house song.
No. But there was I thought not the Emotions. There was another cheek to cheek.
We got 13
All right,
minutes.
okay. Well, I'll come back to that.
All right,
okay.
so Drag-Ra-Kadabra. So they had to put on a magic show, which to me I was like, this is a recipe for disaster. And even to me, even the losing team, they were bad in comparison to the winning team, but the bad team was still not terrible.
They weren't terrible.
So
They weren't
I
terrible.
was actually surprised at how well both teams did learning the illusions and like legitimately learning the illusions. Because,
Yes.
like sometimes you like, it was a little sloppy. And I was like, no, like when
was actually
Silky
pretty
poured
good.
the milk in the thing,
It was pretty good.
I was like, okay, it's like a legitimate
So
illusion.
you had one team that was Silky, Evie, Akira, and
Vanjie.
Vanjie. That was on one team, and they were the team The Black Magic. And then it was
Black Magic!
Right. It was Nina, Sugar, and Brooklyn Heights. That was the other one. So listen, I got life off of Nina. Nina was phenomenal. Like she was, because the look on her face was like, she was phenomenal, and that whole
Yes.
trick that I liked that was great. Needless to say, I liked her, and not because I liked her is why she won, but she was phenomenal as far as putting it together.
She
But
was
Nina
very
actually
good.
put it together, and her team actually won, and Nina actually won the challenge.
Yes.
Overall. So onto the runway, they come out.
Yes.
Okay. It was caftan realness.
Yes. Now some of the caftans were not caftans. Akira was in a cute ensemble.
Yes.
But that was not. She had on essentially like a onesie, like a one-piece pantsuit, which was beautiful, but it was not a caftan.
It was not.
I
The
have a
funny thing is,
caftan.
had she put a sheer overlay over top of that, she could have made it look, and
Yes.
she would have met the requirement.
Yes.
So, but whatever, it was great, and they talked to her about it, they read her about it, but it was all right.
Evie's look was fine.
It was a goddess type of look. It was inspired by a Catholic sainthood type of thing, maybe
Something like
but
that,
It was,
yeah.
but it was good. I thought it was interesting. And then Nina's look was cute for her. She's a tall, big girl. She put these straps on it and kind of made it work for her.
Yes.
Vanjie had this leopard skin, this like leopard print. Was it leopard or was it cheetah? Some animal print.
I think it was cheetah.
Some animal print with the bandana around the head, and she was giving you very much of Mrs. Johnson, who's never been out.
She
the
was giving you
hood.
Mrs. Rodriguez walking down to the bodega for some cigarettes and some tortillas for dinner tonight with the mules that's got the fur on the
Listen,
front.
That or Mrs. Johnson, who never been out the neighborhood and decided she wanted to go out and go on a trip somewhere because she had saved all her retirement money up and she would take this cruise for the first time, so she had to have this look. So that's
Yes.
what she got.
That was her
Matching
embarkation.
ensemble, right?
That was her
matching ensemble.
embarkation look.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So Akira, like we said, Akira's look wasn't a caftan. Brooklyn had on this decent. It was a decent caftan. It was all right. It was okay. Sugar had on this Russian like the nesting egg type of thing. This look.
I thought that was terrible because each look was worse than the one before.
And like Michelle said, the first look was probably the best.
Right, she should have just left that on. I mean, I know what she was going for, but if you're going to do look after look after look, the same thing with hair after hair after hair, if you're going to take off a wig and have another wig on it, the wig underneath needs to be beat.
Yeah.
And the look underneath has to be beat. You can't have like a simpler look.
It needs
underneath
to be,
it.
If she'd have kept the theme of like maybe the dress and the long robe and it got shorter or something that still stayed,
right.
that might.
It just
might
looked like
work.
she just put on several different outfits.
Four different outfits or whatever. So,
right.
But anyway, with the main challenge, Sugar was probably the weakest. Well, she was the weakest of the three of them: Brooklyn, Nina, and Sugar. And so she was one of the people that was in the bottom.
Yes.
As well as for the other team, The Black Magic, Miss Vanjie was she was the weakest. But there was some.
Vanjie has charisma.
She does.
And
Absolutely.
Vanjie's going to have a wonderful career because when you're doing lip sync, you just do the shit that you know. You ain't got to do all of these challenges.
That's true.
And, you stay in your lane or whatever. And if that's her lane and, this sort of bubbly, hood,
she can be.
hood
and she's
queen.
quick on her feet. She's quick.
Right. And so I think she'll be fine with that. But these challenges don't necessarily speak to her strength. So
No, not at all. But the point that Rue is making is that, and he keeps bringing that up about her having that star quality. It's there, and I get it.
Yeah.
And so when Vanjie and Sugar did their lip sync, which was really funny to me because they chose Mary J. Blige, No More Drama.
Yes.
And if you saw Vanjie's look, it was very much if you could imagine Mary.
It
in
was
the
she
90s,
literally wore some shit like Mary would have wore.
And been like
that would have been like Mary's concert look. It was that was why I thought it was. I felt like it was perfect. I loved it, and I thought she deserved to win. Behind that.
So here's my thing with the lip sync. Like, listen, I feel like if you're gonna lip sync, know the words, number one, and keep your goddamn wig on, number two. That's just some of the basic things for me that just drive me crazy about people when they do drag.
Yes.
And if you can emote and give me some drama and some theatrics and everything else, and it's appropriate, that sells the song. And Vanjie was starting off real slow. She was throwing the bracelets in the audience, and she was trying to get all into it, and she was good. But I kept looking at Sugar. Vanjie almost, I'm not sure if she didn't know the words or she just wasn't, I don't know what, her lip sync was off. It just, I wasn't catching that she knew the words. And for some strange reason, at the end of it, I was like, I like you, Vanjie, but I disagree with Rue. I think you should have been going home. And Sugar went home, unfortunately. So, and that doesn't mean that Sugar's bad. It doesn't mean that Vanjie was bad. But Sugar went home. And I think
at this point, everyone, they've officially gotten rid of the people who need to go.
We got about two more.
Who?
We got about two more. I feel like there's some instability there's some instability or there's not consistency between Silky, Vanjie, and A'keria. There's some
but A'keria to me has proven that she's got that.
Let me be clear.
Yeah.
She is drop dead gorgeous when she beats that face. When pushed, she will do what she needs to do. But I don't necessarily know if her personality is going to be...
I think Vanjie is probably going to be the next to go.
And
then the 4 is going to be Brooklyn, Nina, Evie, and unfortunately Silky. And for me, it's not... Silky just annoys the fuck out of me, and so...
But the weird thing is, Silky also has that star quality that, like, you get drawn into her. Now she kind of gives you she gives you very much of like that Beyonce thing. At first, with Beyonce and Destiny's Child, it was like she gave you all this like you were drawn in, but then after a while you were like, okay, I'm sick of this. So hopefully she will be able to fine tune it like B did, because after a while she was getting a little draining.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but we shall see.
Right.
We have I think that's pretty much it for the show. But as far as the drag race, but now for this weekend we have a lot of stuff that's going on.
Most of which we can't talk about.
Yeah, I mean, but just some more.
We got things and stuff.
Just got a whole
so one thing that happened though, right? So it's not a surprise that they're getting mugs.
Okay.
So, I mean, we tell them up front that they're getting mugs. So I go to pick up the mugs, right? Now, you know how I am. How am I? I give explicit instructions plus examples. I gave them my mug that says Onyx. Big letters. Under that, Dominion. I explained to them Onyx is the name of the organization. So all 9 of these mugs are going to say Onyx. And then each one of them is going to have a name underneath. And I gave him a printed list of all of the names. So you got the spellings right and everything. And so I'm like, first of all, I was already annoyed because he said it was going. I put them in, and he said it was going to be done on Monday. He didn't call me Monday. He didn't call me Tuesday. So finally, I'm calling him. And of course, he didn't have it listed right in the system or whatever. So at first, the bitch was like, "Well, the person that answered the phone was like, we don't know what you're talking about." I was like, "Bitch, if y'all find my motherfucking bugs, we about to have." And I in a red stripe bag. He was like, "Oh, the red stripe bag." So okay, whatever. So they in the red stripe bag. So I was going to pick them up Friday.
Okay.
But I was like, all right, I'm gonna leave work 30 minutes early. Go because it was one stop over at Pentagon City. I go and I pull out the first. I was like, just see what they look like. It's like, okay, everything should be cool because we've done this like 6 times. I mean, this is not our first time there. We gave him an example mug. it says whatever their name is in big letters, and all 9 mugs in smaller print say Dominion.
So the reprints are coming back when?
As soon as I order new mugs, because they've refunded. Because this is stainless steel. You can't erase.
I know you can't erase it, but I'm just saying. So the reprints, they're doing it over, and the reprints are coming in when because they fucked up. Like
so we've gotten refunded, but I have to order 9 new mugs, have those delivered to my house,
That's right,
and then delivered back to It's a 2-step process.
That's right. I forgot about
So I gotta order new mugs, and then because I was trying to be like, so can I get
a discount on this?
Well, it's already paid for, but all right, whatever.
Yeah, but still,
we'll talk about that later. I was like, so let me have these 9 mugs. He was like, nah, we own those now. Because I was like, we can give those at least let them have those so they end up having 2 mugs. But no, they got to keep those. But I was like, it say right here what you're supposed to do though, and you got the example.
Lord have mercy. What's up, Mimi?
So anyway, I was pissed off about that. Not really, really pissed off. First of all, because it wasn't even them that did it. The 2 chicks that was in the store today was not the dude that I talked to who actually did the order. So he wasn't there. There's 3 people that work in the store.
Right. So he fucked up even though you explicitly said to him, this is what you want.
Right. I mean, I walked him through the whole thing. Our name is Onyx. Everything's going to say, all 9 of these mugs are going to say Onyx, and it's got a separate name at the bottom. And he just fucked that all up. Anyway, so the BGK8 show streams live on Wednesdays on www.voxwave.com from 8 to 9 p.m. Eastern and 5 to 6 p.m. Pacific. Episodes are available on YouTube every Friday. Search for Vox Power 373 and look for the BGK8 show with Dominion and Epic. Currently, we are still able to host a small but enthusiastic studio audience. And if you can't be in our audience but still want to participate, other than on Facebook Live, you can call in and chat with us at 240-719-2560. One more again, 240-719-2560. 240-719-2560. One more time, 240-719-2560. So, Epic, how can the viewers get in contact with you?
So you can reach me on Facebook. You can look me up as Epic Onyx. You can also catch me on Instagram at I am Epic Onyx, and you can find me on Twitter at Epic Onyx1. So how can I reach you?
At Dom Onyx on Twitter and Instagram, facebook.com/dominion.onyx, and my website, www.domonyx.com.
Be on the lookout because summer months are coming, and we will be taking a hiatus.
Yeah, probably in July.
In July, so just giving you guys a heads up now. So, yeah, we'll be letting you know some other stuff too. So, oh my gosh, I just thought about that Folsom and everything else.
I know I'm gonna miss Folsom, but I'm gonna be in Orlando. So I'm gonna hold in Orlando. I gotta see if that's like there's like a leather or gay event going on then. Because if it is, I can
Oh, well, we can
mix them together. So, all right, kids, thank y'all for coming out. God bless you and good night.
Bye.
Bye.